Go with the best, and tonight he's fighting in his own backyard. It's our premiere of Wednesday Night Fights. Matchup Kevin Vieldhouse, who's a very popular local fighter here, as well as Mike Tricarico out of Brooklyn. And these are a couple of guys who you feel could provide us with the best matchup of the evening.
I really think so. This is going to be what I call the show stealer. Nobody really expects this to be a good match except me. I think it is going to be an incredible match because both guys have tremendous fighting hearts. Not that much ability. They don't have the biggest punch in the world. The boxing ability is like, but they just absolutely entertain the crowd. I think you're going to enjoy this one immensely.
And a premiere of the Wednesday night boxing action. We're at the Ice World Arena in Totowa, New Jersey. Bob Carpenter along with Randy Gordon, who's been chomping at the bit, waiting for this one to come up. It's a welterweight, scheduled 8-rounder between Kevin Vieldhouse and Mike Tricarico, a battle of Wayne, New Jersey against Brooklyn, New York, and it should be a dandy. It should be a brawl. Some of the folks here expecting a war.
Doesn't have to be a world title fight to get me going. I'm waiting for this one.
Here's Ed Darien again.
Ladies and gentlemen, this bout is scheduled for 8 rounds, and it's in a welterweight division. The judges, John Stewart, Tommy Kazmarek, and Phil Newman. Counting for the knockdown seconds, alternate referee Frank Cappuccino. The timekeeper to the bell is Lindsey Tucker. In the ring at this time, the man in charge of the scheduled 8-round welterweight bout, referee Double S Steve Smoker. And now, boxing fans, introducing the principals. First in the red corner, wearing the white trunks with the green and red trim. He tipped in at an even 149 pounds. This gentleman has 9 wins, 3 losses, 1 draw, with 4 knockouts. From Brooklyn, New York, ladies and gentlemen, here is the Italian stallion, Mike Tricarico. And here's the opponent in the blue corner, wearing the red trunks with the gold trim. He weighed in at 147 1/2 pounds. This young man has 10 wins, only 1 loss, 3 draws with 3 knockouts. From Wayne, New Jersey, boxing fans, here is Kevin Vieldhouse. Vieldhouse.
All right, gentlemen, we're giving your instructions at the weigh-in. If there are any questions, touch gloves, protect yourself at all times. Good luck.
Tricarico at 5'11", 149. Vieldhouse at 5'9 and a half, 147 and a half.
What both guys lack in that God-given ability, what they lack in punching power, they certainly make up in conditioning and in heart. And I think you'll see that from both fighters tonight.
You know, when you look at the ring and the man on your left and the man on your right, it looks like more than an 1.5 inch height advantage for Mike Tricarico. 5'11" supposedly, 5'9 and a half for Kevin Vieldhouse, who's known as a guy that if you take it to him, you can handle him, but if you don't, he'll come right at you, and then he'll take control of the fight.
And neither guy is a defensive specialist, so you're going to see a lot of leather landed here tonight.
Some of the folks around here calling this a good old-fashioned neighborhood fight. Randy, what do they mean?
That's exactly what it is. You're talking about the days, we're going back to the St. Nick's Arena in New York and those kind of places when fans used to turn out by the thousands to watch crosstown rivalries.
And this is the perfect setting for such a fight. Not your hotel casino type atmosphere that you might find in Atlantic City or Las Vegas. This is a night down at the ice rink, watching some guys going at it.
Well, Kevin Vieldhouse comes from Wayne, New Jersey, about 15 miles from here. And Tricarico, he comes from Brooklyn, New York, about 25 miles to the east.
Vieldhouse hands up, protecting, and then countering. A couple of lefts he landed there, coming in from the outside that time.
It's turning into everything I thought it would. Vieldhouse taking it to Tricarico. Tricarico taking it right back to Vieldhouse. Nice left hand underneath by Tricarico. Tricarico trying to set everything up off his long left jab. And Vieldhouse trying to walk right through him, mixing it up to the body and head.
On your left, Tricarico. In the red trunks, Kevin Vieldhouse, as round one comes to a close. And now, for our local cable systems, we'll pause with these messages. Welterweight battle between Vieldhouse and Tricarico. A couple of aggressive fighters. The terms like toss-up and even matchup were being thrown around the arena tonight when people were talking about this one. And Randy, it's been that and a little more so far.
Well, the fight fans in the know, they're the ones who knew right away that this would be the show stealer. Boxing's underground publisher Flash Gordon is here. He said this is the fight he's been waiting for. And once again, right back on each other.
And we've got bleeding from the nose of Kevin Vieldhouse as Tricarico got inside with a left or two.
Hey, a boxer bleeding from the nose, it's like when you bleed when you brush your teeth a little bit. No big deal. Face of Vieldhouse very red around both eyes, and the blood coming from both nostrils, courtesy of that left jab of Tricarico.
Oh, and he landed a good right there, coming out of there. Close in quarters, and then got him again. Tricarico tagged a couple of times.
And the right eye of Tricarico, I mean, there's a lump there now. That could have been a clash of heads. That thing is shutting as we're looking at it. I have never seen an eye shutting this rapidly. As we're looking, the thing is just closing. Probably by the end of this round, which still has about a minute to go, that thing will be just about tight.
We see blood around the left eye of Vieldhouse, but that could be from a glove, from the nose. But I tell you, they're going at it.
What did I tell you? The left eye of Kevin Vieldhouse a bit swollen. Oh, these guys have landed leather tonight so far.
This kind of looks like the old Rocky movie with Rocky and Apollo Creed after about 15 rounds bleeding like that, but we're only in the second.
And the work of the corner of Mike Tricarico has their work cut out for them. Manager Howie Albert and his other manager, Herbie Kronowitz, a former top referee.
We're going to keep it here for you in between rounds and let you listen in on some of the strategy and see some of what will be very busy activity in each corner after two great rounds. Look at these guys. The crowd is on its feet. The doctors and trainers are busy.
Got to press this guy, Kevin.
telling him you got to press this guy. Tricarico is not exactly a cover boy right now himself.
Spit it on him.
This has been a 2-round war so far.
Give him the mouthpiece.
Tricarico's right eye swollen but not shut. So now we go on to the 3rd round, and the crowd is really excited about this one.
I mean, the crowd is acting as if this was a world title fight, and this thing is every bit as good. I don't know what they're getting paid, but it is not enough.
And the fans pay $10 to get in. They got their money's worth probably in the first 3 minutes.
And the thing is only getting more exciting with every second that goes by.
Oh, Tricarico landed a good right on the head of Kevin Vieldhouse.
Tricarico coming out really hard, but he keeps running into that left hand, the left jab, and the left hook of Kevin Vieldhouse. Both guys had limited amateur experience. 8-1 was Tricarico, 8-2 was Vieldhouse. So they're really getting all their experience as professionals.
Ooh, Vieldhouse countering beautifully.
A smart move by Tricarico, holding on. Too many fighters today like to try to act macho and not hold on. Hey, if Sugar Ray Leonard could do it, so can anybody else. Both guys have lumps all over their face. I mean, these guys have more lumps than my wife's oatmeal.
It's just a country standoff right now. One man takes his shot, the other comes right back. Then they do it again. This one's scheduled to go 8 rounds. Will anybody be standing at that point?
Referee Steve Smolder, a former fighter himself, is looking at both guys with a perplexed look like, I don't know who to look at first.
This is Brooklyn against New Jersey right here, folks. I'd hate to be doing a radio play-by-play of this fight because you couldn't call every blow. No way.
Tricarico at this point, I think he should just start keeping away behind that left jab. Vieldhouse, with his face a bit chopped up, looks a bit apprehensive about moving in anymore.
Vieldhouse with the left coming in from the outside. Tricarico trying to get his mouthpiece back in there, and Vieldhouse could have tagged it but chose not to.
Absolutely. That could, he might regret that later on. He should have jumped right on his man. This is the pros, baby.
Vieldhouse landing another one there. 3 rounds are now history. What a fight.
Stand by. Here's your hotline tip of the hour from the Comb Company. You see us in the...
Go in his corner. You love this fight. You're beautiful. I don't know about that second statement right now.
And he smiled right back at Howie Albert, one of his co-managers.